I'm Audra Z for Access Unlimited TV. I'm sitting here with local author Pamela Nihiser, who has a couple of new publications out, as you can see, Halloween Harbingers and Frostbitten Fantasies. Hi, Pamela.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit about actually each of these?
Both of these anthologies were put out by Dreamzine Publishing, and what they did is they just put like an ad out for authors to submit their stories, and if they got accepted, they got put in. This one right here has to do with Halloween and stories based around Halloween, and this one has to do with stories that have to do with winter and things like that.
Okay. Now in this one, I believe your tale is Bathory's Vanity. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that story?
It's a story about a young model who gets a mirror from her mother out of the attic, and the mirror is possessed by the spirit of Elizabeth Bathory, and the model is obsessed with keeping herself young, and Elizabeth tells her through the mirror how she can maintain her youth, and she ends up murdering people and things like that.
Right. Let's not give too much away.
No.
And this, your tale in here now, that is Phantom Stranger, is
Yes.
that correct?
Yes.
What's that about?
It's the first 2 chapters of a novel that I'm working on, and it's about an incubus and a succubus, and it's about a young lady. She's only been married for about 6 months, and her husband gets taken by a succubus, and I'm not going to give too much away on that one either. That way people will read it.
Great, sounds interesting. Now, can you give us a little bit more information about your inspirations for writing?
Writing horror?
Right, exactly.
I love horror movies. I can't get enough of them. I've pretty much seen about everything from the black and whites to the new ones. The new ones just stink pretty much compared to the black and whites as far as I'm concerned. But I've been watching horror movies since I was about 11 years old.
Nice, nice. Yeah. And so these are actually not based upon real life experiences, is that right?
No. I've actually had, I was at a panel one time, and a lady asked me if I had based any characters out of Bathory's Vanity out of the story, and I was like, no.
Not quite. And what do you like to read?
Horror, science fiction. I do not do chick stories at all. Chick flicks or anything like that. No.
And how did you get involved with Dreamzine Publishing?
My friend, he actually runs at David Wax. He asked me to submit a story, so I did with this one. This is the first one here, and I submitted Bathory's Vanity, and it got accepted. So
nice, very cool. So what's next for you?
I'm working on a couple of stories. I'm actually trying to finish up Phantom Stranger and get that out, because that would be my first novel on my own. And I'm actually working on a story called How to Keep a Relationship Alive with the Undead.
Nice, nice.
And a couple other zombie stories and things like that.
Okay. Now, don't you have something coming out towards Valentine's Day as well?
Oh yes, I wrote a poem called Frickin' Spider about how much I hate spiders, and it's about me coming in contact with a spider in the early hours of the day. And, my battle with it.
Very scary stuff. They're a phobia for mine as well.
Yeah.
Now, do you write full-time?
No, I have too many kids to do that. I pretty much write at night, but I'm trying to get stuff done around their schedules and things like that.
How long have you been writing?
I started a story called Enmity about 2 years ago, which I kind of put on the back burner because I've been so busy, and that's a vampire story that I'm working on, which I'm hoping to get that out soon as well, because it's going to be a trilogy. And I started, pretty much this is my first story that actually got put out, so I would say since August of last year.
Okay. As a kid, did you like to write?
I wrote poetry when I was a kid. My mom bought me journals and stuff, and I would write little poems in them, but I never really wrote short stories or anything like that until now.
Were they also sick and twisted, or?
Not as much. I mean, I liked unicorns when I was a kid for some reason, but that has totally changed.
What do you think changed that?
Horror movies. My aunt is to blame for that one. See, my mother was very overprotective when I was younger, and we weren't allowed to watch horror movies. My dad was a big sci-fi buff, so I was really into Star Trek and Battlestar Galactica and things like that. Well, I would go during the summers to my aunt's house, and she goes, "Hey, let's watch Poltergeist." That was great. I couldn't sleep without my closet open for like 2 months. You know, but I could not get enough of them. I had to keep watching them. And that's where the sick stuff comes from.
Is there anything that scares you today?
Spiders. The only movie that I have ever seen that I've watched once and cannot watch again is Arachnophobia.
Really?
Really. And the only reason I watched that is because I was dared to.
Oh boy.
And I saw spiders all over the house for months afterwards. I had a hard time taking a shower. No way. No. No spiders.
Do you have a favorite author?
I do like Stephen King a lot. Dean Koontz is fantastic.
Absolutely.
Those are the only two I can think of off the top of my head that I really read. Anne Rice. I like Anne Rice too.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about? What's new? What's coming up for you?
Oh, the short story I'm working on right now is called Deer Mod, and it's about a young girl who gets disfigured in a car accident. She ends up calling on a dragon to take vengeance on the people who caused it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And when do you expect that to be out?
That is supposed to be out. I believe it's April that one would be coming out, if I remember correctly.
Now, if somebody wanted to do what you have done and get involved with writing, submitting something, how would they do that?
DreamZionPublishing.com.
Okay.
They'd be able to do that.
So, Pamela, where are these books available?
They're available at DreamZion.com. They're also available at OddChildUnderground.com and Amazon.com and also BarnesandNoble.com.
All right, and any stores that they are available for?
Black Cat Books, I believe, carries the Halloween Harbingers book. As well.
Great. Also, do you have copies, say, if somebody read it?
Yes, I have a few copies of this one at home, and if you did want to contact me to get some, you can get a hold of me on www.facebook.com, Pamela.m.Nihiser.
All right. And what about upcoming events, book signings, those sort of things?
I'm going to be at Co-Sign this weekend, and then I'm going to be at a Hell Circus show on the 29th, and then Starfest in April and Mile High in October.
Very nice, very nice.
So far.
Now, let's go back to, you mentioned that your influence was the old horror movies,
Yes.
the old black and whites. What do you think about the more current movies that are out right now?
None of them are even close to terrifying. I mean, the black and whites used to scare me pretty good, and sometimes they still do. The Twilight series garbage I just cannot handle. I don't deal with sparkly vampires. I believe that vampires should go outside and explode. I do not think that, there should not be any blood in a vampire flick, because that's the whole point of being a vampire. And I just cannot handle those stories. I tried reading the book. I got through the first chapter and almost threw up.
Pretty bad there.
Yes.
So you're a fan of the zombies and the
Yes.
vampires, but the real
Yes,
vampires.
yeah, I could not. Can you imagine? They've really messed with the vampire movies lately. Can you imagine if they took a zombie flick and made it, oh, we can't touch you, we can't eat your brains or anything like that? It'd be ridiculous.
Well, why do you think that these more teen vampire flicks are so popular?
Because nobody can really handle horror anymore.
It's a sad state of affairs.
No, if you're going to have a horror movie, like, I have to say one of my favorites is Halloween by Rob Zombie. I mean, that was just terrifying. There's blood, there's guts everywhere. That is a horror movie. When you go to the movies and you see something that makes you go, ugh, that is a horror movie. When you come out and you're crying, that's not a horror movie. That's disgusting.
That's great.
Yes.
It has been such a pleasure to speak with you today. I really, really appreciate you coming by and letting us know about your books. And thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Thanks for having me. Hi, I'm Pamela Nihiser, and you're watching Excess Unlimited. If you like chick flicks and things of that nature, please do not attempt to read my shit.